Hey guys, it's Evie here and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. I hope you decide to stick around and subscribe. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you an update on the 9 goals and 4 intentions that I set for 2026. The fact that it is June, we're halfway through 2026 is absolutely crazy, but alas, we have made it halfway, so I just wanted to give you an update on where I'm at, if I think I'm going to achieve these goals, or if there's anything I want to chip and change. I can do so because I have autonomy of doing so. So let's get into my half-yearly updates on my goals and intentions. Okay, let's just get that out of the way because it is annoying me. Okay, so as I mentioned, I set 9 goals and I always use Canva. I freaking love Canva. If you're not on the Canva game, you need to get on the Canva game. But I use Canva and I used a template and I put together 9 goals. I did mention in my original video at the beginning of the year when I set these goals that I set way too many last year and I really wanted to knuckle down and just bring it down a bit, so I settled on 9 and I think that's a really good number. All right, so I'm just gonna get straight into it. Should I just do what I've done so far and then what I have remaining? So the first one that I have ticked off my list is have a paid collaboration. This was a dream of mine last year and it has finally come into fruition this year, so that is very exciting. I did a paid collaboration with Savage Accessories and I'm currently working on a second job with them, so that is really, really exciting. So actually getting paid to do editing and posting is an absolute dream come true. So it's only been one. I would have loved to have more jobs and more gigs in that UGC space, but it hasn't come about, but that's okay. You know, you start off with one and then you kind of just hope that it snowballs from there. So I have had my first paycheck from a brand, which is really, really exciting. I've done a lot of gifting stuff, like gifting collaborations, but I really, really wanted to do a paid one because, you know, yes, you're getting a free product, which is absolutely incredible, but you have to do the filming, the editing, you have to send it for feedback and then make the changes. And then it's actually like a lot of work that goes into like a 30 to 60 second reel. Like it's actually, like I find it way harder doing short form content than long form content, because short form content really has to draw you in that first 3 seconds. Whereas I feel like when I'm watching a YouTube video, I just click on it and just watch it like it's a TV show. So that's something that I've just really been trying as well, just getting much more creative with my content so that way people are joining in that first 3 seconds. And I feel like it's going okay, but definitely lots of room for improvement in that space. But anyways, first tick. The second one that I have ticked off is go to a Grand Prix. So this was a holiday that we had booked in last year. So we booked in to go to Singapore and Japan. And while we were in Japan, we decided that we might as well, while we're here, go to a Formula One Grand Prix. So that has been something that's been on our bucket list pretty much since I started watching Drive to Survive, because that's what really got me hooked onto Formula One. And then I was like, well, we might as well fork out some money. We don't have kids, so our money just goes into holidays. And that was such a great experience, but I don't know if I'll ever do a 3-day Formula One experience. So it was the longest 3 days. Like by the time we actually got to Sunday, so you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By the time we actually got to Sunday, I was honestly a bit over it. But then as soon as the race started, it was actually very exhilarating. So yeah, if you have the chance to go to Formula One or you're saving up to go to one, depending on where you are, because we had to do a lot of travel to actually get to the racetrack, it's definitely a really great experience. We kind of want to do a paddock experience one day, because with some of the countries like Canada, for example, you can actually get a paddock experience for one day. And guys, that stuff literally costs like I think if you do the 3 days, I think depending on the location, let me just bring up some stats. So experience F1, you have to be extremely rich. So let's say we're doing Melbourne. So Melbourne is the one in Australia. Oh, here we go. Okay. So if you get the 3-day F1 paddock tickets for Australia, they cost anywhere between $9,500 to $14,000 AUD. Or you can get a legend package, which starts at $14,000 AUD. So yeah, if I won the lottery or if I was really rich, I would be doing the paddock experience. But yeah, I know like we were looking at Canada, for example, and you can do like just like a 1 day where you have the paddock, and I think it was about $3,500, which is still absolutely absurd for like a half a day event. But anyways, go to a Grand Prix that has been ticked off, so that's really exciting. The next one, which I actually literally did last week, was do a cooking class. We did an Italian Tuscany inspired cooking class. So we did 3 dishes. So we started off with an entree. It was like a spinach and ricotta thingy-majiggies, and then we did a chicken, and then we did the Tuscan chicken with some Italian greens, and then we finished off with a tiramisu. I'm not the biggest fan of tiramisu, which as a Greek, you're supposed to love tiramisu, but I don't like coffee, and I don't like coffee in my desserts. But because we did like a mild one, it actually didn't taste too bad, because usually like if you're ever going to have tiramisu, it's usually got a really strong coffee taste. So I'm really glad that it didn't have the super strong coffee taste. But anyways, it's really cool to do something like that with your partner, like just getting out of the house. Someone's already got all the ingredients, you just have to follow them along, and then you just eat your creation, which is really exciting. And it's usually food that you're not going to make at home, because this stuff is like a bit more time consuming. So yeah, it's like if you had like time or you were entertaining, you could do this stuff. But I'm usually like pretty simple with my meals, especially because I have to cook 2 lots of meals. I have to cook my meal prep, and then I have to cook for Chris as well. So, you know, I've got to stick to my macros. So when I'm done with all, you know, competing, and I have a bit more flexibility and freedom with my meals in the future, I'll probably, I don't know, we've got the recipes that I have in my office, so might whip it out one day. But yeah, I highly recommend doing a cooking class if you want to go on a date night, date day, if you're running out of ideas on what to do with your partner, friends, family. I highly recommend a cooking class. It is so much fun. The last one that I have ticked off, which I feel like I can tick off, is become a UCG creator. So UCG stands for, no, UGC, which stands for user generated content. So it's kind of ties in with my first one with having a paid collaboration. But with UGC, you make content for the brand, and you don't actually have to post it to your socials. They use it for advertising. They post it on their own socials. Depending on the terms and conditions that you sign on, they can kind of do whatever they want with it, or they have limited clauses, or they have to pay you more depending on what you do. But because of that first paid collaboration, because that was UGC, I didn't post it to my socials. They use it for their advertising. So that's why I was able to tick that off. Anyways, so that is 4 ticked off, and I have 5 remaining. So the first one remaining is read 80 books. I am about 44% of the way through. I've read about 30 something books out of the 80. The previous years, they've been in the hundreds, but I really wanted to put more time into my content. And I just felt like towards the end of the year last year, I wasn't really focused on content. I was just focused on trying to reach that number of 120 that I set myself, which I did hit on literally the very last day. But yeah, read 80 books. I'm almost halfway there, which is great. I'm currently reading the Off-Campus series because I fell in love with the TV show. Unfortunately, the book isn't as great, which usually it's the other way around. Usually it's a series that doesn't live up to the expectations, but I found the differences. Sorry, my hair is like sticking to my neck. But I actually found like the differences and tweaks that they made were actually so much better and for the time. So I feel, yeah, I'm still reading the books. Like the second one wasn't very good. I think I gave it like a 2-star rating, but I'm now on the third book, and the third one is Dean and Ally, which is actually going to be the second show. And it's okay so far. There's just a lot of sex. Like the word dick and cock literally comes up like every single sentence. So it's, if you like smutty books, then it's for you, but I'm usually not the biggest reader. Like I'm not that big into smut. I usually just love my cringy romance books where it's like, I know what's going to happen in the first 3 seconds, and it's usually not that many sex scenes in the ones that I read. I really love memoirs. I haven't read a memoir in a while. Should read one. I don't know who's to read though. My favorite one was Jeanette McCurdy's, which I actually have the hardcover. Really like the Life Uncut one. Drew Barrymore's was okay. Paris Hilton. Oh my God, Paris Hilton. If you want to read a memoir, Paris Hilton's memoir is actually Like that girl, what the actual F? What the actual F? Like that was intense. Anyways, we digress. But yeah, almost halfway there. I feel like I'm going to be able to hit that because the books that I read are usually between 250 to 350 pages. They usually take me like, it depends. If I'm really into it, I can finish a book within 3 days. If I'm not that into it, it can take me up to 2 weeks. So it kind of just depends. The next one is grow my socials. They are just not moving. They are not moving. If you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I actually have no idea how much a subscribe, a like, and a comment actually does. My Instagram and TikTok, I'll just pop on the screen right now. It's just at evykassiotes. That's moving very, very, very slowly. I kind of had this thought that I would be at 5,000 followers by now, and then I had a goal that I was, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit like 10K by the end of 2026 because I'm gonna up my content game. But yeah, my content is just not getting any traction. It's definitely doable. Like you can grow your socials, but you just have to get people's attention. And I just feel like, I don't know, because I feel like my Instagram is like my personal diary, and it's kind of just a mishmash of life, bodybuilding, gym, food. But then a lot of people have that. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Someone give me some advice. But yeah, that's just not going anywhere. The next one is donate blood. I really want to be able to donate blood. I actually got into contact with Lifeblood, and I'm like, hey guys, on my app, it doesn't show that I'm eligible to donate blood. Like, can you tell me what I got to do? They're like, you got to be at least 50 kilos. I'm like, yes, I am now 52.5 kilos. I have no longer underweight. Can you please make me eligible again? And then they're like, yep, no worries. I'll get that updated with the nurses, and it's still not on my app. But I can donate plasma. I'm eligible to donate plasma, and I'm actually doing my first plasma donation next Sunday. So I actually hope that they take me because they're going to do the hemoglobin test, and that's something that I always freaking fail. I've gone 4 times and was able to donate once. But that was blood. So now I'm actually going to try and donate plasma. While I'm there, I'm going to be like, hey girl, can you update me so I can try and donate blood? I'm trying to be a good person here. But yeah, I think if I donate plasma, I think I'm just going to have that ticked off because it's still a good thing that I'm doing. But I would love to donate blood. The next one is go on at least 5 runs. I'm 1 run away from completing this. So that's really exciting. So for a run to be counted as a run, it has to be at least 3 kilometers. So that's the expectation that I set on myself. So I did one on the 1st of January, 3.6 Ks, 1st of February, 4 kilometers, 19th of April, 3.14 kilometers, and 14th of May, I did 5 kilometers. I really just need to get the next one done very, very shortly because I'm in a building phase. I really should not be doing anything strenuous like that. So I really need to get that done like ASAP. I'm going to set myself the goal of completing my next run in June. Okay, in June, mark my words, that will be marked off. And the very last one is go on at least 3 hikes. So again, I'm 1 away. So the first hike that we did was in Singapore. That was actually really, really lovely. It was in Macritchie Reserve, but it was very, very humid. So we did it like first thing in the morning, but I was like dripping in sweat by the end of that. I think it was like a 5 kilometer hike. And then the next hike we did was literally like half an hour away is this beautiful nature reserve. So we did that, and that only took us like half an hour. But the next hike that I want to do, I really want to go to the Blue Mountains and do like maybe like a 5 to 7 kilometer situation. I want it to be like a proper long hike. So I'm only 1 away from that, which is really exciting. So I actually think besides growing my socials, I'm actually going to have all of my goals ticked off. So that's going to be super exciting. So I wanted to make sure that it was attainable, but still make it a little bit that I had to work for it. And the next one is 4 intentions that I set for the year. So I have celebrate the small wins, weekly affirmations, appreciate the build phase, and be mindful of purchases. I feel like I'm really doing a good job of celebrating the small wins, and this is mainly because of my weekly check-ins with my coach. One of the questions is what is a win that you want to talk about? So it actually forces me to celebrate the small wins when it comes to that check-in period. So I feel like I don't have any issues doing that. Weekly affirmations, I think I did the first month of January. I don't feel like I need to stand in front of the mirror and tell myself that I'm strong, independent, capable woman. Like it's not for me, to be honest. So I think I'm just going to maybe change that up a bit. I have been getting back into journaling, but I'm not really consistent with it. So I think I might just change that to weekly journaling and see how that goes. The next one is appreciating the build phase. This is something that I really struggled last year when I was building. I hated my body. I hated how I felt. I seriously didn't want to eat food. Like there were times where I skipped a few meals, doing extra cardio, doing everything in my power to get out of feeling like shit. But this year has been a completely different story. I'm now 6 months into my building phase. This will end in November. Oh my God, November is coming so close. And I'm actually loving the building phase. With the relationship that I have with my body is a little bit more neutral. Sometimes it's more up, sometimes it's more down, but that honestly, no matter what phase you're in, we're only human. You're going to feel a bit different to your body, but I'm nowhere as negative as I was. There are actually days when it comes to food where I actually want more food. So I'm really loving the amount of food that I'm on, which is funny because I was on the same amount of calories as I am now as I was last year. And the food is just going down so much easier. Except my ovulation phase. When I'm ovulating, which is right now, I'm actually not very hungry and I don't really have much of an appetite, but I'm still ensuring that I'm getting all my meals in. I'm hitting my carbs with no issues at all. Like my carbs were at 350. I'm usually hitting about the 330, 340 mark, and it's not that big of a deal to be at that little bit off with carbs. But because I know how I'm going to feel, how depleted I am going to be, how little carbs I'm going to have, I'm literally just like appreciating the time that I have with food now, because I know what I'm in for next year. And I just have so much energy. I'm having so much fun in the gym. Like honestly, like this build phase is just, I'm loving it so much. Like I'm just appreciating the amount of food that I get to have. Like the privilege of eating 350 grams of carbs. Like if you're not in the bodybuilding world, or like if you're not someone that's into their macros, it's a lot and it's freaking wonderful, okay? And the very last one is being mindful of purchases. This is something that I've actually been doing really well with this year. I actually have a spreadsheet where I write down all of my lifestyle purchases, my activewear purchases, my makeup purchases, and then I have a column if there's anything that I've sold. So I've actually been able to, I think I've sold about 5 items. Usually in the past, I was actually like selling something on Depop like every single week, but unfortunately that kind of has slowed down. So if you want some pre-loved activewear that is in good condition, I'll just leave my Depop username here. Depop is something that I use all the time. But while I'm here talking about purchases, I will go on and tell you how much I've spent so far. So I'm usually like researching a lot of things. It's something like I would want, like knowing that I want to, or if, anyways. So on lifestyle, I have spent $1,486, and a third of that is my garment. So my garment is something I purchased this year, and this was $550. So, and then there were some like souvenirs that I bought while I was in Japan and Singapore. Activewear, I have spent $375. Makeup, I have spent, I didn't calculate it, but I bought Makeup by Mario Patta, a road bundle, and then I bought a new mascara the other day. And this mascara was only $7. And what I've sold so far is $118, which I actually need to add to that because I just sold something for $15. But yeah, I think especially activewear, because I have so much of it, I just want to make sure that I'm being mindful of that. But these are all items that I'm really happy with. And I have said this, I sound like a broken record, but because I'm in my building phase, a lot of my gym wear doesn't fit me at the moment. So I have bought a few pieces to fit me while I'm building. If you feel like you're spending a lot of money, having it written down in a spreadsheet with an amount on how much you spent, I feel like really puts it into perspective, and it kind of scares yourself into not spending money, if that makes any sense. But there is not a single thing on this list that I regret at all. Like I am extremely happy with all of my purchases. Anyways, that brings me to the end of this video. So those are where I'm at with my goals, what I've ticked off so far, what I have left, what I think I'm going to finish off with, and then my 4 intentions that I feel like I'm doing pretty well with, except for the affirmations one, because that's just one that I'm really not doing. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you make thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. It helps me out so much. And please follow me along on my socials at evykassiotes. And until next time, my friends, I hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are. And just remember that one bad day isn't a setback, and tomorrow can always be better. Bye.